If you want to run a successful lending business, you gotta stay organized. You just have to. But if you haven't already started getting leads, stop this video right here, check out this video that's linked up here, go get some leads, work on that process first, and once you start building up leads, come back so that we can talk about how to keep those organized. But for everybody else, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan. Thanks for being here. This year, I was able to quit my job as an engineer and go full-time into entrepreneurship. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about my lending business and how I keep everything organized because Lord knows I can't keep track of everything. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down my CRM, my automations, all of the things that I use to keep track and keep this thing a well-oiled machine. So I'm going to be showing you a screen grab of my computer and everything that's going on there so that you can see a little bit under the hood of what's going on. All right, let's do a little deep dive into my lending business, shall we? Let's go ahead and check out my lending intake form. We're going to go to ryanschroep.com/EMD and we'll check out what's in here. So this is a form that I have linked to the CRM that I'm going to be talking about that I use to organize everything. And you can see as you go down this form, all of the information in here is not only things that I thought I would need, but things that I learned that I definitely need through doing so many lending transactions. So let's go through it. First of all, obviously your name, your contact info, right? I got to be able to get in contact with whoever I'm lending for. That's obvious. Deal details. So this is where I've added a couple things that I want to talk about. First of all, obviously I'm going to need the address, the property itself, right? Those details. The amount needed. That's a big one, right? I need to know how much they're asking for. And then here's a big one that I added recently that I kind of was doing outside of the form, but what I've learned is I want to get as much stuff into the form as possible while still making it easy to use. And so if you look here, we've got inspection period, expiration, and closing date. So for those of you that don't know, inspection period is exactly what it sounds like. It's a period where you're able to go inspect a property for any issues, or oftentimes in wholesaling, it's more just a period for you to be able to go look for a buyer. That's realistically what it's used for. And in most states, it varies a little bit, but for an inspection period, what that means is that when you submit your earnest money, you submit your down payment, if you decide that you don't want to buy the property for whatever reason, during that inspection period, you can get your earnest money back. And so the reason why the inspection period is important for you to tell me, for somebody that I'm lending to tell me, is so that I know, hey, how much time do we have to pull back out of this transaction without losing my money, right? Because my money is the thing that's on the line here if I'm lending for them. So that's why I need to know the inspection period. Closing date, same thing, just to make sure things didn't get pushed back, make sure that everything's on track, and just have a general understanding of when I'm expecting to get the money back, right? All important stuff. Referrals, most of what I do now is finding people that need earnest money and referring them to me to be the business that operates, at a high level, funding all of these deals, and they get paid out a referral for each deal that they bring me. Pretty cool. How many deals have you done? This is more important to me personally, just so that I know when I speak to this person, if I need to have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation, do a little bit more underwriting. People that have done a lot of deals that I work with, especially if I've already done deals with them, I'm not really going to do nearly as much of that vetting process. And then exit strategy is important because there's a huge difference between a wholesaler and a buyer, right? Especially in creative deals, which is most of what I'm lending on. Buyers are typically going to have non-refundable earnest money because the buyer is coming in and buying this from a wholesaler, right? And I'm a wholesaler. When I wholesale a deal, it's non-refundable earnest money. That's just how it works because there's a lot of people clamoring for a deal. If you're excited about the deal and willing to move forward, then you put down your earnest money. So I need to know if you're buying it so that I know if it's non-refundable and need to make sure that I do a little bit more vetting, understand, if it's a flip, do you have your loan approval already? If it's not a flip, have you raised the money you need? Cross the T's, dots the I's. Cross the T's, dot the I's, get that stuff covered so that I know. Otherwise, if it's a wholesaler, like I said, inspection period is going to be more important. So I've got those two there. And then the last thing is wire instructions, right? Wire instructions are obviously important because that's what I'm going to use to call the title company, ask them if these instructions are accurate, and then ask them if the file's open in escrow and all of that stuff just to make sure it's a legit transaction, right? Make sure you're not trying to scam me. Make sure I'm not going to just send my money away to some stupid place and lose it. That's the goal. So that's pretty much it for the form. Down here I've got a little disclaimer that just says you understand if you work with me that whether or not the deal goes through, you still got to pay me back. That's how lending works, especially if you're being honest and trying to do good business. So this is my EMD intake form. Now this form is automatically already included with the CRM that I use. It was created within that CRM specifically for lending earnest money so that all of the data from here goes directly into the CRM and gets uploaded in a format where you can keep track of it. All right, so let's go ahead and fill out this form so that you can see what it looks like when it goes into the CRM. We'll be working with my man John Doe today. johndoe@gmail.com. All right, and 123 Main Street in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, typical earnest money, for those of you that ask, our average earnest money is $3,000. We do some that are a little bit higher than that, some that are like $1,000, but typically speaking, earnest money is going to be about 1% of the purchase price if you're wholesaling on market deals, and that's going to be approximately, I think the median house price now is like $400,000, but $3,000 is what I see for my average earnest money. So let's go ahead and put that in, $3,000. And then we'll say that our inspection period ends, what's today? Let's say that it ends on the 18th. And then we'll say that the property closes a week later on the 25th. Now, my referral, in this case, put whoever your referral is. How many deals have we done? We've done a lot of deals, and we're going to plan on wholesaling this deal. And then for wire instructions, you're just going to attach the wire instructions. I'll go ahead and just attach something in here. Enter for a free chance to win. We'll put that file in there. So that's all we really need to do. Then we just click that we understand that the money has to be paid back either way due to the personal guarantee, and we'll click submit. So when we click submit, it's going to give us a little bit of instructions on what's going to go down next. So it says, what now? You're going to receive contracts within the hour, and I'll talk a little bit about that. You're going to send those contracts to the title company, and then once they receive those contracts, money's going to be sent. Really cool. That's kind of a little bit more with my actual lending process. I'm going to focus today more on the organization aspect. Remember, no matter what, don't avoid anything. You've got a personal guarantee signed. Please reach out if anything changes, right? This is all just stuff that I've learned to add after all the transactions I've done. If you need lending on multiple deals, it gives you an option to keep inputting, but we're going to go ahead and jump on over to the CRM, and you can see right here, EMD requested $3,000. So this is directly from the form that we just did. You can see 123 Main Street, Jacksonville, Florida from John Doe. We've got the amount right there, and it comes in as a request, right? So it comes in as an incoming lead, and then we go from there. So let's go ahead and click on this lead and see a little bit about how this CRM automatically organizes everything for me. So if you go to the details, and we'll pull that up real quick, you're gonna see everything organized for the lead so that I have it all in one place. I don't lose track of everything, all that good stuff. All right, so check it out. A couple really cool things. So we've jumped into the contact that we just opened, and you can see we have all these options over here. The CRM was created by Sub2, for Sub2, and Gator, and all of those things. And so you can see all the options we have over here, and one of them is Gator. So if we click that Gator tab, it's organized everything from that form for us. So how much is needed, who, if anybody, referred, you've got your inspection period, your close of escrow, exit strategy, your wire instructions that were uploaded, all that fun stuff. You can see it's all organized under this Gator tab. So that makes sure that I'm able to keep everything in one place. I don't have to go searching for things. And that is the process that is used to organize everything. Now, I also want to show you what happens when you submit a lead. So this is really cool. So this is all done automatically by the CRM. When that lead gets submitted by the form, you can see, first of all, that opportunity was created. That's what I just showed you, where it was sitting in the pipeline. We'll go back to that in a second. And you can also see that we've got a couple automations. So the first one is we've got a text automation that goes out. Hey, John, I received your request for earnest money. Please follow the steps in your email for the next steps. And that's just, everybody checks their text messages. So that gets sent automatically immediately. When you submit, that text message is going to get sent, and then this email is going to get sent as well. It looks like it didn't like the email because it got sent to a random fake email. But let's look at it. So here's the email that I have set up right here. And it just talks about receiving the request. You can see there's a button to click for the lending form. So I have mine set up so that you can sign the forms for lending automatically. And I do that through Sign Now. There's a link in the description for my Sign Now. by far the best DocuSign type app that I can use. And I have the version that allows me to send these links automatically because I am scaling so much of my lending business. So that's the first link. Once you open that, then you can fill it out and then you send the signed contract. There's my email. You can send that to the title company and CC me. And that way I know that you have sent it in so that I can call and confirm with them. That's it. Once the wire instructions are confirmed, you're all set. So this is all stuff that's sent automatically. As you've seen, I've been on this video this whole time. I didn't send anything. But this all got sent out to John Doe automatically. So that's what the CRM is doing, is it's keeping him updated on what's going on. Now, let's jump back over to the opportunity itself, and you can see my pipeline here. So the first thing I do is I take the EMD and I look at who it is, I look at the request, and I make sure that it's a deal, right? Sometimes there may be somebody that I decide I'm probably not gonna wanna work with them for whatever reason. And so I may just say, hey, this isn't a deal for me. It might be that they're requesting too much money or they misunderstood what earnest money was. Who knows? There's things that can happen. But once I determine it's a deal, I'll go ahead and move it into here. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna send an automatic text message. Again, everything is automated with this CRM that I use. It's gonna send an automated text message to the person and say, hey, we've determined that this is a deal and we're gonna start working on it. We're gonna be funding your deal for you. So that just lets them know. Otherwise, if I reject it, it'll send an automated message that says, hey, just to let you know, we're not gonna be able to lend for you, because oftentimes this is a very time-intensive thing. And so we wanna make sure that they know as quickly as possible. And if I'm lending on as many deals as I'm lending on, I don't wanna be sitting there typing every time like, hey, this isn't a deal, you know? So we make it a deal. Now, the next thing that happens is, like I said, there's a link in that email already for them to sign the contracts. Once those contracts get signed for the lending deal, then this opportunity is going to move over here to contract signed. And when that happens, again, it's going to send another text message. Hey, just to let you know, the contracts have been completely signed. You can go ahead and take that contract, send it over to title. And that just keeps them posted every bit of the process. And then the last one, obviously the most important one, is moving it into sent. So we move it right in here into EMD sent. It's probably going to blur it out, but we move it into EMD sent, and that way they know that it was sent. It's going to send another text message. Your earnest money has been sent to title. That way, if they have an agent breathing down their back or whatever, they can say, hey, the money was sent. We're going to wait for a receipt, whatever else. Sometimes people need an actual earnest money receipt. I provide that to them if they request it as well. But you can see everything is done automatically. And then the last automatic text message is moving it into this closed tab. And when the deal closes, that means that I've gotten the funds back with my return. I'll move it in there. It'll send another text message and say, hey, just to let you know, everything closed. I got my money back. We're good to go. Let's do another deal. All right. So really cool the way the CRM is set up to keep them posted automatically. You can see I've got 23 deals in escrow right now. Crazy. 23 deals in escrow that I lent on. I can't keep track of all those things. I can't keep track of updating everybody every time something changes. The CRM does it for me, right? Now, the other thing that it does is that it's going to send out automated text messages regardless of what part of the opportunities it's in. It's going to send out automated text messages to keep up with the deals because, again, I can't keep up with all these things. I don't know what's going on. There's going to be an inspection period that expires every other day, right? So that's why I have that information put in. And what the CRM does is, let's say your deal inspection period ends tomorrow. There's an automatic text that goes out that says, hey, John, just wanted to check in. The inspection period is up tomorrow. Are we good to go? Did we find a buyer if you're a wholesaler, or did you get approved for everything if you're a buyer? We want to make sure that the inspection period, we reach out before that. And if I was trying to write that on my whiteboard or whatever and keep track of that, no chance, right? So automatically text them and says, hey, the inspection period's almost up. Then it sends another text message the next day that says, hey, if they didn't reply, it sends another message that says, hey, you didn't respond yesterday. Today's when inspection is up. If you don't respond, then I'm going to call the title company and pull the money back out. That protects me as the lender and just gives me the opportunity, again, to stay on top of things. And it's going to update me on my phone, on my app. It's going to update me and say, hey, Ryan, by the way, this person hasn't responded. You might want to check into that because you may need to be pulling that money out. So that's front end. And then it also sends a text message for close of escrow, COE, as we call it. It just says, hey, escrow closes, I think I have I think it's set in the CRM for a week before. So it'll just say, hey, escrow closes this week. Is everything good to go? And that's just my way of kind of, again, automatically keeping up with them, prompting them to let me know if anything's changed. Because in lending, in business, in life, the most important thing is communication. I've learned that through experience. So I just want to make sure that I'm staying as communicative as possible, and I can't do that without automation. So the CRM saves my butt on that stuff. Now the last thing I didn't talk about here is this little canceled thing here. So if you haven't lent money before, you can see I've closed 38 deals. 16 deals have canceled. So I've lent on, 54 deals that have either closed or canceled so far. I don't know what percentage that comes out to, probably like 80-ish, something like that, 70%. But deals do cancel, right? If you're not expecting a deal to cancel, then watch this video, watch my other videos, because it happens, right? When you're wholesaling, not every deal is a deal. And those deals are going to get canceled. And for my lending business, what I do is I just allow them to return the money back to me. I charge a little bit of a fee because there's some wires that I have to pay for when I send it out. And besides that, I just say, hey, look, I understand things happen. Deals get canceled. I'm not going to freak out on you and say you have to pay me necessarily. But we just want to make sure that we're forming a good business relationship. And so maybe that's a story for another day, but that was specifically how my CRM works. You can see the automations are ridiculous on this thing for keeping everything organized, keeping things updated, doing automatic outreach so that I can sit back and do my other work and not have to worry about whether or not I'm communicating, whether or not things are being taken care of and kept track of. And instead, I can just focus on going and finding more deals, lending more deals, which is what I enjoy doing. So automations are the form going into here, like I showed you. It starts it over here in the EMD requested. As I move it along, it keeps them updated, and then it also sends text throughout the process and an email at the start to get everything going. This is my way of being able to keep track of things and also be able to be as helpful and as quick as possible for people, even if I'm on vacation or traveling or on a plane, right? I'm still able to lend for them. I'm still able to lend that helping hand. That's my company that lends. I'm able to lend that helping hand for them and make sure that I am being quick and speedy with the process, because that is one of the most important things when lending earnest money. So that's how I keep 15 to 20 deals a month organized. You can see right now it's actually 22 deals that are in escrow that are being organized. So 22 deals this month are being organized by my CRM. It's been amazing to be able to keep track of all that stuff so that I can focus on what really matters to me. So that's what I'm doing to keep my stuff organized. My CRM is called Button Leads. You can check it out, first link in the description. Watch the videos if you're interested in it. Reach out if you have any questions to me. It's not my CRM, it's just what I use, and it's what's been able to help me so far keep track of everything effectively in an amazing way. So excited to be talking more about lending to you guys. If you have any questions, make sure to drop those down in the link in the description. Check out Button Leads as well, and until next time, appreciate it.